Is this? Okay, that's good. My name is Marceline Bloom, and today I am going to be painting a really disturbing picture. Like, kind of just making something up on my own as I talk about stuff. Also, too, you're not going to see the picture until the very end. If you want to cringe early and skip to the end, by all means, go for it. But I just kind of, oh my god, bro, I left paint. Because I started, like, painting this picture a little bit, and I was like, oh, I can make a video out of this. So I decided to do that, and this was one of the brushes I was using that I did not clean after the fact. I'm messing this up already. Yeah, it's not a Marceline video without me messing shit up. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, um, so I'm just gonna talk about my life a little bit, what's been going on and stuff. So there's been a lot of changes that have been going on within my life. As you can see, that this is a very different setup from what I usually have. The setup I had before was the setup I was hoping to have for a little bit, but due to like certain events going on within my personal life, I no longer live in the place that I used to live before. The reason why is because, so in my first video, I mentioned how I've been going to therapy, right? I've talked about it, of how much, like, it really made changes for the better. I've made huge, huge changes, but because of this good change for myself, one of the main things that I realized is when you really get to know yourself, when you get to really understand who you are as a person, what you want in life, what makes you happy, what your priorities are, what your boundaries are, you kind of start to create a space where you just want to let the good in. You want to keep the bad out. You want to keep what's ever causing you any sort of harm or any sort of negativity out. And that's within environments, situations, or people around you within your life. Not only I understood what my boundaries are, I also got to learn like how to communicate them, and when to communicate them, when to state it, and also too knowing when to draw the line, and also expressing myself in ways to honor me and my safety and my own well-being. And because of that, some of the people in my life were just not used to that. They weren't used to the Marceline that stands here today. Who I was a year ago was a totally different person. Over the span of the year, like, I have made so much change. I have made so much growth. I have grown in so many ways. I'm also continuing to grow in so many ways. I'm continuing to evolve. I'm continuing to work on myself, like focusing on my strengths but also my weaknesses, and identifying the weaknesses that I have and knowing what else that I need to work on and continue to work on. And it just gets to a point in your life where, like I said, like you just want to bring the good in. You want to be able to bring the good in and embrace that, have gratitude for that. And then that's where you just want to keep the bad out. And unfortunately, some of those relationships were unhealthy for me, where like I was just feeling unseen, I was feeling unheard, my feelings were being invalidated. And then when I would try to communicate my boundaries and tell them my boundaries, instead of them just kind of taking it as a like, oh okay, like, like that's fine, they would more so take it as an insult. And unfortunately too, like the one thing I did tend to notice is that when they were able to actually like see the change and know and are aware of it, a few of them were just very upset by it and didn't really understand it. And because they didn't understand it, they got angry or avoided it, or even both. And some of these relationships were very huge relationships in my life. And unfortunately, it just didn't change for the better. And then that's where I was just put in a situation where I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I need to put myself first. And because of that, a lot of change has been happening in my life, and a lot of change is going to continue to happen. I'll try to upload as much as I possibly can, try to record as much as I possibly can, but right now, like, the situation I'm in, I'm not really in a situation where I can necessarily, like, really do that or as often as I would like to, but I'll still try, I'll still try, don't worry. Because the one thing I do know is that I want to do this, right? We all know this. We all know, like, by now that I actually want to do it and I actually care about this. And I'm really excited for the next change that's coming up in my life. I'm, like, really looking forward to it. Obviously, I don't want to share it with you yet. I actually want to share it with you when it actually happens. So, and trust me, you're gonna know when it happens. Because even too, like, one thing I actually tend to notice too, because even though I talk about, like, yeah, keeping the good in, but the thing is too, the only way for you to actually keep the good in and know what the good is to also make sure you are being aware of that negative, that you are seeing that negative, that you're not just ignoring it and letting it slide or tolerating it or saying, you know what, this is just a part of my life and this is what it's gonna have to be. So I'm just gonna have to allow it to happen. I'm gonna have to stick with it. I'm gonna have to tolerate it. When it's like, no. The thing is, you don't have to tolerate what you don't want to tolerate. You can choose what to tolerate and what not to tolerate. You can choose what to accept and what not to accept. You can choose who you want to have in your life, and you can choose what your boundaries are. And the thing is too, when it comes to your boundaries, obviously, like, we also have different boundaries within different relationships, but also too, you need to also understand that if you have, like, a real serious boundary that literally applies to all relationships, you don't want to sit there and give that person the exception just because of who they are to you. It doesn't matter who a person is to you. If they're not respecting you as a person, if they're talking down on you, belittling you, doing all those things to you, you don't have to take it. Over time, you just learn, like, not to let it happen. To be like, no, like, you know what, like, I'm not tolerating this. I'm not dealing with this. This isn't good for me. This isn't healthy for me. And it's okay to want to surround yourself in an environment where you feel safe and happy. You're entitled to do that. I just realized that. And that's what I've currently been doing. That's just what I have been doing. And that's what I have been just working towards. And yeah, put my own well-being first, because it's not selfish to do that at all. Okay, so the reason why I want to paint a disturbing picture, a lot of people like to call me sick and twisted because I'm a person who likes to watch disturbing stuff. Let me define disturbing here real quick. I'm a sucker for, like, movies that have, like, a lot of, like, blood and gore and disturbing to the eye, right? Where, like, you're watching it and it makes people go just like, what the fuck? You know? I like watching that kind of stuff. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I really liked watching The Human Centipede. The reason why I liked watching it was because I really thought it was really cool, that kind of, like, outside of the box thinking, just creating something, like, so disturbing that everyone's just forced to talk about it, or when you tell them about it, they just do not want to watch the movie. Yeah, I like those kind of movies. So, speaking of one that I will never forget, I still think about this scene till this day. Like, there's times where, like, I would just be sitting and then it would just randomly pop up in my mind. But it was that movie called Talk to Me. And it was this scene where they had the friend's, like, 13-year-old brother, I'm pretty sure. It's like when he gets possessed, and then the whatever possessed him is making him, like, bash his head against a dresser. Bro, watching that, I was jumping out of my seat. I've seen it for the first time in the theaters, and I was actually jumping out of my seat because I was like, holy f***ing shit. Even watching Human Centipede, bro, the second one was, yeah, that was how they just make, like, up things look that real. Because you know it's fake, like, you know they're acting, but it's so good that it actually still disturbs you. It still is very, like, I really like things like that. Because I'm like, okay, like, those are really talented directors. Like, ones who can really do that, that's amazing. Where they can just direct a movie and, like, really make it affect you. Like, really make you think, oh my god, like, this is crazy. The Terrifier movies, see, and to be honest, I actually like the first one way better than I like the The second was kind of like, eh, you know, like it wasn't as weird or strange as the first one. What's the other? Oh, there's even another horror movie too that I really liked. It was called, bro, The Conjuring. Bro, that one was that one was good. The scene where, you know, the demon thing, she was sitting on top of the wardrobe, that scared the shit out of me. Ooh, yes. Okay, that kind of looks like an infection going on. It looks like there's like something going on here, like something funky.
Huh?
What to do with this chick? You know, she's looking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if this is looking. I mean, it's looking a little like there's something wrong with me, but it's fine.
Huh?
There's nothing wrong with me. I just like disturbing stuff. Okay, I like blood and gore. I like things that scare people. Yeah. You got blood dripping on you, girl. You got blood running out your eyes, girl. What's going on? I don't even know if this is disturbing or not, but you know what? Like, honestly, I don't even find myself this disturbing. The blood and gore queen over here. I don't find this disturbing, to be honest. I just find it more of like a funny picture. I don't know, you know. I don't know. Like, what made me decide to paint this? I don't know. I just wanted to. Yeah, that's why. Because I wanted to paint it. I want to make you cry.
Huh?
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna read a ghost story. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read you guys a ghost story. Ghost stories to read. Ooh, short, scary stories. Let's do that. Let's see what we got here. Spine chilling twist. Ooh. Okay, so this one's called The Writing on the Wall by.
Bruh.
I don't really fucking. Okay, so a young boy sleeping in his bed when he heard footsteps outside his room. He peeked out his eyes to see what it was happening when his door swung open to reveal a murderer carrying corpse of his parents. After slightly propping them up, oh shit, on a chair, he wrote something on the wall in the blood of the dead bodies. Whoa. He then hid under the child's bed. Okay. The child got scared beyond belief. He couldn't read the writing on the wall, and he knew the man was under his bed. Like any child, he pretended that he slept through the whole thing and hadn't woken up yet. He lay still, quietly hearing the breaths from under his bed. Bitch, I would, like, you know how they sit there and say, like, any child? Nah. I'd be up and running out of that motherfucker. Like, you really think I'm just gonna hide under my blankets and pretend I didn't see or hear anything? No, I'm running out of that motherfucker. He pretended he slept through the whole thing and hadn't woken up yet. An hour passed, and his eyes got adjusted to the darkness. He tried making out the words, but it was a struggle. He gasped. When he finally read out the sentence, "I know you're awake," he read as he felt something shift underneath his bed. That's it. That's the scary story. Okay. I just thought of an idea not to talk about with the painting. You know, this looks like it's coming together very well, very graciously. Ooh, let's talk about phobias, actually. Let's talk about my phobias. And arachnophobia, bro, which is a fear of spiders. I don't fuck with things. I really do not. Like, I understand, you know, we're trying to, like, not kill them and because they're actually really good for the environment and the ecosystem. You know, they control like certain population of more annoying insects like mosquitoes and shit. But bro, when I say that I have a fear of them, I do. I really do. I'm so scared that I won't even kill the spider. I've been recently like seeing those TikToks where there are people from Australia and they're like recording those huntsman spiders. I think that's what they're called. Oh no. Like there was this person, okay? So oh, like when you look closer, you know what? I think I can find the TikTok video. I'll like play it for you right now. Do you see that, mother? Did you just see how fast it went behind that person's head? Did you see that? If that was in my house, you know what? It's not my house anymore. It's the spider's house. They're taking ownership. They own the house. They run the bitch now. They do say like they're harmless and that they don't bite, but bro, do you see how fast they move? Imagine you trying to catch it to get it out of your house. No, no, no way. And I am never going to Australia. I'll tell you that very much. Because even one time too, my friend was telling me about like how there's like these things, they're like clouds of like spiders. Literally clouds of spiders. They all like form in like a web or some shit, and like sometimes the wind will blow it and it's like literally like float like little clouds of like a bunch of spiders in a that's just flying around the air. At first I thought he was bullshitting. I was like, there's no oh, he looked it up and he showed me, and I was like, see, another reason to not visit Australia. There's like this one certain spiders I'm not scared of. You know, like the cute like little ones with like the big faces. Like those ones I wouldn't be scared of. I'll be like, okay, like yeah, like you're cool, like I fuck with you, you know? Oh, you know, I have a story time too. So there was one time I was at work, okay, and I was actually working with the one where we were just talking about like clouds of spiders and shit. Bro, there was this big ass spider in my workplace. Like it was probably like that big, bro. That bitch was fast. I would look away for like 10 seconds. It would be at one point, I look away for 10 seconds and then turn back, and that bitch is already 10 feet from where I saw it before. It was fast. I remember him and I, like, we ended up having to serve a customer. We'll deal with the spider after we're done what we need to do. We came back and the spider was just gone. It was gone. We had no idea where it went. And we were very like jumpy for the rest of the shift. We were even like smacking things to like see if it will like just somehow like run out. We never ended up coming across from it. We never ended up seeing it again. Oh, you know what the funny thing is too? Even though like I have a terrible fear of spiders, I've actually held a tarantula in my hand before. For some reason, when it comes to tarantulas, I'm actually not scared of them. If there was a person who had a pet tarantula, I'd be like, oh, like, you know, that's actually really cool. Because you know why? It's contained, okay? That bitch is contained. It's in a cage. It ain't coming out. Okay? There's no way of it even escaping or crawling out or being somewhere. And I feel like, too, it's because I see tarantulas more like kind of like exotic animals. Like some people like having exotic pets. And usually, like, people who own tarantulas know a lot about tarantulas. They're very educated on them and they know how to take care of them and what to do with them. And you know, they know for a fact to not let it loose and run around the house because, you know, it can get hurt or they can get hurt themselves. You know what I mean? I don't mind tarantulas. I'm not scared of them. It's just the ones that are just roaming free. The little ones that are just roaming free. Running around up in your walls in your house, you know? The husband spider too, bro. I can't even fathom the thought of like me just sitting in my house and then thinking I see something big on the wall and I turn, it's a big ass. I'm burning the house down. And don't get me wrong, like trying my hardest to not be so scared of them. I feel so bad for the fact that I'm scared of spiders. I really do. Like there's so many times where like I just wish like I wasn't so scared of them. Where my fear even comes from them is just the way how they look. Okay? The way how they look, the way how they move, the fact that they can build webs and stuff and catch things, that's pretty cool, but it's just the way how they look and the way how they crawl and the way how they run, and I'm like, no, 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 hell no. I'm still painting this picture. It's kind of looking good, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I kind of like how disturbing it is. I don't want to keep it because I feel proud of it, and I want this to disturb me right now. I just have to do like another thingy part thing. Oh, my legs, my legs are dying. Shaded, I guess. I like this one part like shaded. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I know. I swear a lot. I don't care. Okay, I guess that works. You like my painting? I don't know how I feel about it. Ta-da! Doesn't she look amazing? Isn't she so pretty? I actually like it. I think it's kind of cool. I like it. I like it. What do you think? Well, that's supposed to be her brain sticking out of her head, but I don't know if it really looks like that. But yeah, it looks creepy. It looks weird. That's all I really wanted out of this painting, so. But yeah, doesn't she look cute? Doesn't she look cute? I think she looks adorable. She thinks she's cute too. Alright. Well, say bye.
Bye.